Now in a special bonus episode in English of Nos Cambiaron los Muñequitos.
And the reason why I remember this so distinctly is because when I first heard from my director that, Melinda, I'm going to need you to do this presentation, I started freaking out, Cristobal, because I remember what was happening to me. I could no longer speak. My voice was trembling, or you couldn't hear the words coming out despite me trying to form them. So I was like, no way, how do I do this? I went to my mentor and he said, Melinda, relax. You're a Toastmaster. And I was like, yes, I'm a Toastmaster.
Mi nombre es Cristóbal Colón y esto es Nos Cambiaron los Muñequitos.
Nos cambiaron los muñequitos. Nos cambiaron los muñequitos. Nos cambiaron los muñequitos. Nos cambiaron los muñequitos. Nos cambiaron los muñequitos.
Ultimately, there's one investment that supersedes all others. Invest in yourself. Nobody can take away what you've got in yourself, and everybody has potential they haven't used yet. We start this special episode with these words from billionaire investor Warren Buffett. And one of Buffett's investments in himself came in early adulthood when he signed up for a $100 public speaking course that he says changed his life. Let me introduce you to this episode's guest.
My name is Melinda Lloyd, and I am from Kingston, Jamaica. Very importantly, I am a Toastmaster.
Melinda Lloyd is the Club Growth Director for Toastmasters District 81, which include 26 territories throughout the Caribbean. She will tell us the benefits she has received from being a Toastmaster. Also, we will talk about a special event, Immerse 2022. This is a special bonus episode, and we talk to Melinda Lloyd. Welcome everybody to a new episode, and a very different episode from Nos Cambiaron los Muñequitos. Normally, this is a podcast in Spanish, and every once in a while we have episodes in English, but they're not like regular episodes. We put them like bonus episodes in case that someone doesn't have a problem with English. And today we're gonna have an interesting conversation. We're gonna talk with Melinda Lloyd, and she's a Toastmaster, as am I, also a Toastmaster, and she's from Kingston, Jamaica. How are you doing, Melinda?
I am doing ecstatic. I am having an amazing Saturday, and I get to talk to Cristobal on this super amazing program.
Melinda, you were born in Jamaica?
Yes, I was born and raised.
And what do you study in college or there in Jamaica?
I've had a very interesting university experience. I started off in general management. That was my first degree. But then for my master's, I did management of information systems with the University of the West Indies, Mona, in Jamaica.
Okay. And after you got that degree, you started working on that? You do that for a living, or you do something different?
Well, my career started out as a business analyst, and I moved swiftly from that into the world of project management. And right now, I am not only a project manager, but I have the distinguished pleasure of managing a team of project managers at the Digital Group company. Head office is in Jamaica, but it is an international firm.
Okay. So you were certified as a PMP?
Yes. Yes, I am really happy to have had the opportunity to complete that certification. It was one of the roughest exams I've ever done. I would not like to do it again.
Myself, I was a computer engineer for 25 years, and even though I took awesome. the trainings and I worked in product management, I never I never needed, and I never did the certification. So, but I know the
Okay.
concepts of project management for many years working with that.
Awesome.
But today we're going to talk about uh, not her professional side, but her Toastmaster side. And I don't know, Melinda, if this has happened to you, but I always say here in this
Mhm.
podcast that Toastmasters changed my life. My story is that I retired. I quit my job on one day, and 4 days later, I joined Toastmasters. And
Oh my
Toastmasters
God.
helped me uh, design and create this second half of my life. And because I
Wow.
became a Toastmaster, that's why I have this podcast. But because at some point, I said that I needed to practice what I was learning in Toastmasters, and I thought that a podcast was the logical next step to try to practice and improve my communication skills. So this is my podcast. 4 years later, today it's this we the day we're recording this. This is the 4th year anniversary of this podcast.
Oh
So
my gosh.
for me, I say
Woohoo!
that. Thank you. For me, I say that it transformed my life. Do you think the same about Toastmasters and your life?
Oh, definitely. My story is a little bit different, Cristobal. Here I am as a business analyst at my first ever company of work. And I was the youngest person on my team. And for some reason, I lost my voice, Cristobal. I lost my voice. I couldn't speak anymore. And I
Okay.
remember meeting my current friend, who is like has been an amazing friend and colleague to me over the years. He introduced me to Toastmasters. So I took my first dive and I went to my first meeting and I was like, there's no way this is real. Are you kidding me? There really is an organization that is helping persons to find their voice. So I wanted to
Okay.
stay. I stayed, and for the first 3 months, I learned some basic skills in how to project myself, how to get over this fear that I seem to have developed. And I was able to confidently deliver my first presentation since joining Toastmasters to my team of
Oh.
90 or so members. It was frightening at the time, but it was also an amazing experience. And the reason why I remember this so distinctly is because when I first heard from my director that Melinda, I'm going to need you to do this presentation, I started freaking out, Cristobal, because I remember what was happening to me. I could no longer speak. My voice was trembling, or you couldn't hear the words coming out despite me trying to form them. So I was like,
Mhm.
no way. How do I do this? I went to my mentor and he said, Melinda, relax. You're a Toastmaster. And I was like, yes, I'm a Toastmaster. And then I prepared my presentation. I practiced with him. And then I went, Cristobal, and I delivered that presentation to my entire team. And I blew them all out of the water. And that was a turning of the tide for me in my career. I was
Wow.
elevated. And ever since that point, it has been an uphill. And I'm truly, truly grateful. The important thing, though,
Okay.
is I thought Toastmasters was only about finding my voice, but then there's so much more that's involved in this organization. I developed new skill sets I didn't even know I could. And then the leadership aspect transformed who I was as a professional. And it's because
Okay.
of all the opportunities and experience I've had, I've been able to grow, get promotions, and then evolve,
Wow.
Cristobal. And
Wow.
I'm enjoying my life right now, feeling so much more confident, doing all the things that I was at first afraid of doing. And all of that happened because I dared to go onto this platform to leverage it and to make it work for
Okay.
me. So, yes, I will agree with you. Toastmasters changed our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember my first Toastmasters meeting. I'm very shy. I'm an introvert, and I I don't know if you know that, but my
I
name
was like,
is
I did not know
my name is
that.
Christopher Columbus in Spanish. So a lot of people remember my name because it's a very famous
Oh,
name, Christopher Columbus.
yes.
But uh, my personality, I was very shy, and I used to say that I was invisible. And I remember that first Toastmaster meeting, and I got into that room. I sat, and if somebody came to me and say hi and talk to me, that was. But otherwise, I wouldn't talk to anyone. at the end of the meeting,
Okay.
if somebody came to me and talked to me, I talked. But otherwise, I went out and disappeared into the darkness of the night because I said I was invisible. But Toastmaster has
Okay.
helped me change that. Melinda, first, I
Yes.
will ask. I'm gonna ask you to please explain a little more generally what's Toastmasters, because we started talking about that, but maybe some
Mhm.
people don't really know what's Toastmasters.
No.
And then I'm gonna ask you to start talking about this special event that you're here to promote. That it's Immerse 2022. So please start
Okay.
here.
Okay, Toastmasters is a self development platform for persons who are looking for opportunities to grow their communication skills, to be able to present confidently in a public setting, to be able to write at a different level, to be able to communicate your message effectively to a particular audience, to also lead with confidence, to learn how to mentor like a boss, to learn how to be able to assess, evaluate effectively, and to from there on show forth that great part of yourself that sometimes we hide or we may not even know that we have. If you are looking for a platform that will help you to bring all of that out and to become a better version of yourself, Toastmasters is definitely that platform. The reason why Toastmasters is so effective is because most communication and leadership programs, they teach you key things, but then there's no opportunity for you to practice. You don't get evaluated to see where you are doing well so you can continue with those habits and where you need to improve and what can you do to improve. Toastmasters provides just that. All you have to do is to sign up, visit your club meeting, get registered for the different projects that you want to work, and then you start practice. You prepare, you deliver, you get an evaluation, you go back, you make changes, you come back and deliver even better. And what you find happening to you over time is that you are becoming more confident because you're learning and you're seeing yourself deliver at a different standard. And you start to evolve into someone that you never even thought you could be. And I have to share this part, Cristobal. I
Mm,
am a project manager today, but it was when I was serving as a vice president education that I recognized
mhm.
I had this skill of organizing and planning and managing
Wow.
relationships with different members of the team. And I was like, wow, I could really do this. And then I
Yes,
started
yes.
pursuing project management. So I found a different part of myself through this platform and it changed my career path, Cristobal. This is
Mm,
serious stuff. It really
yes.
works. And I would encourage anyone, if you are wondering, should I? All we're asking you to do is to visit that first club meeting. Just visit. Learn for yourself, see for yourself what the opportunities are. Once you make that decision to join, Toastmasters will indeed change your life.
Melinda, there's you're a project management professional and you work with that.
Yes.
But I've also seen that Toastmasters provide people who normally their jobs do not are not related to projects.
Right.
Toastmasters give you the opportunity to work on projects and use the methodology as
Ah,
a project manager.
absolutely.
So for
Perfect.
people that for me it was very easy, and maybe for you was very easy to do projects in Toastmaster that I like. You
No
have to
background.
manage a
Right.
team, but
Mhm.
for for people that normally don't do that, this is a great opportunity to join and do small projects and practice its methodology that in on your profession is going to help you a lot. And also I wanted to uh, uh, talk about this. You talked about the benefits for the individuals, for the
Mhm.
persons that join
Yes.
Toastmasters, but I've seen that Toastmasters, there are corporate clubs, and
Right.
for corporations, companies, businesses. For me, I think that this is a great opportunity because it's a very cost effective
Oh my word.
option
Yes.
to train your employees and bring them some skills and things that could help them as employees and your company. How do you think? What do you think about those corporation clubs and the benefits of that?
You are on point, Cristobal. This is this changes or shifts things for a training program in an organization. Now, look at a regular training program. You may get a course online, or you may be asked to go and visit an in-person meeting. You spend 1 or 2 days, you learn something. It may be up to 3 months, and you're learning every day. You do a test, it's finished. You may have a certification and you move on. But how much did you actually apply? How did you make it real for application in your workplace? And how much did you really evolve or change? What new habits have you developed so you can add that greater value to your organization? Well, that's where Toastmasters comes in. It allows an employer to look at each employee's development. It allows each of those employees to start a program that they can practice. They can show that they are learning. They can show that they are changing. They can show that they now have this new skill set because they are practicing in each club setting. It also gives that employer even more control over the program because you get to see the entire life cycle of the employee going through this process of change. And then you get to note all of this. So when it comes to opportunities for improvement, for promotions, for change in job sets, you have all of that information available to you. But let us step back for a second, Cristobal. You mentioned something that is very important. Every organization has to put together a training budget to ensure that there's growth of all their employees. With Toastmasters, it's a very cost-effective way of being able to ensure that all your employees are trained. They're growing, they are evolving, but at a very efficient cost, or more cost-effective. It's a more cost-effective opportunity that they can leverage. What I love about Toastmasters as well is that it's directly aligned to the organization. I know of a club in Cayman, Civil Service Toastmasters Club, where they use the structured approach to projects for every single activity that they're doing in their corporation. So their employers can always guarantee that this will be structured. It will be well strategized and it will be executed. It will be evaluated. So they're capitalizing on lessons learned so that next time they will be even better. What better way to ensure that you're always productive and hitting or achieving your objectives? Toastmasters is also very helpful in the organizations. And that's because it also has a very solid evaluation process. So when you look at how you evaluate the members of your team so that they can continue to grow, it allows you to understand the different approaches that you can use to do that. Can you imagine when it comes on to performance appraisal, setting particular goals, doing that in a very structured way that's clear to both the employee and the employer, then following that progress, actually having a system where you can see yourself getting or achieving those goals, where there's a proper feedback loop. So employees are not demotivated when they get a performance that may not be the best or to their liking. They're actually motivated to do even better. That is how this program works and is so very effective. But here's another benefit that I have understood from this whole process. Because of our culture, the caring culture, the helping culture, that flows over into the organization's culture. So it's a community of persons working together to help each other grow while working together to achieve the organization's objectives. That changes everything. When an organization normally has to plan for conferences and annual general meetings or special events they're putting on for their customers, you don't have to look outside. You have Toastmasters in your organization. They are the perfect persons to ask to build or put together these projects. And you know they're going to deliver a great standard because of the culture that they're in and the processes that they're using. That you get all from Toastmasters. So it really makes a difference to a corporate organization. And all of this is for a smaller cost than you would have had to have paid had you gone outside.
Yeah, that's right.
All of this is right in-house. So it really makes a difference and gives a different feel to when they say grow your own. it changes things. So yes, that is really important. And I encourage all organizations to make it happen for them because they won't regret making that decision.
Melinda, what's Immerse 2022? What's that?
Immerse? That's a very great question, Cristobal. Think about a university or college fair where you're being introduced to the program that university has, or think about a trade show where companies get to showcase their products and their services and how this can add value to you. And put both of that together and think about Toastmasters. So Immerse is really a virtual fair put on by Toastmasters with the hopes of growing more Toastmasters so that everyone can understand how the Toastmasters process works and the benefits that are in it for you once you make that decision to join. So it really is us showcasing the Toastmasters program, how our processes work, how we do what we do, how you can gain benefits from being a part of our community. That is Immerse. We are blessed to have an amazing team of Toastmasters all coming together to put Immerse on. For Immerse, it is happening on April 2nd, 2022. It is a Saturday, and we get started bright and early with our first of 5 events. And that first event, Cristobal, is what we call our Immerse Engagement Pod. Here we will do a formal welcome to everyone that's joining us across the world. And then we will go right into a very special presentation by past President and CEO, Sunil Prashara. He will share with us tips and strategies that we can use to navigate in the workplace and to achieve our objectives. So if you are looking for tips or strategies for how you can grow, how you can get that promotion, how you can make that impact, be a high performer, or take things to a different level, then you want to hear Sunil's presentation. He will share those strategies from his own experience. And for most persons, if you're not aware, being the past president and CEO of Project Management Institute, when the team was going through a whole change of how to evolve, and especially going through COVID, he made a number of changes. I think over 60 projects were delivered during this period, with over 100 and odd changes that really changed the face of the organization. And I, as a project management professional, I'm truly grateful for that, because I have grown and benefited from some of these changes, especially as it relates to my profession as an IT program manager. So I'm really happy that he said yes, and he's coming on to share all of this with us. Right afterwards, we'll have a network engagement session where you can get to meet persons across the Caribbean. You can grow and extend your network. And of course, we would love to hear from you if you are ready to go in starting your journey as a Toastmaster.
Okay.
Right after that, we have our second event, which is what we call Your Journey Awaits. And this is our exhibition meeting. So we're going to share with you an overview of Toastmasters so you learn even more. But importantly, we'll be demonstrating how our Toastmasters process works. These chapter meetings or club meetings that we have, what happens in it? How do you actually get to present speeches? How do you learn from that based on the evaluations? How do you learn to speak off the cuff so you can be ready for any opportunity that may come your way? And then we will have the opportunity of hearing from our international director, Roy Ganga, his journey as a CEO and as an international director, and what part Toastmasters played in helping him to achieve his goals. Right after that, we have our third event, Cristobal, and this is a treat pretty much for corporations and for individuals. We have a number of companies who have gone through massive changes during COVID. Some persons may have lost their companies. Some persons are still looking at how they can navigate. But you have some companies that really thrived, Cristobal, because they were agile. They changed their strategies. They changed their business model. So we want to hear from them. How did you do that? The mindset, the approach that you used. How did your leaders lead during this particular moment to ensure that you are thriving and achieving all your company's goals? So we're blessed to have 5 amazing persons who are coming from corporations across the Caribbean. I think you are aware of Forever Crystals. We have Lady Marari, who's coming on to share her experience, and she's from Puerto Rico. We also have Carrie Ann, who is coming from JMB. She is an amazing person. Just listening to how she handles herself in all of the podcasts that her company has put on, the strategies that they have leveraged and used. They're going to come and share all of this experience with us. We have Digicel, who is being represented as well. And we have Shanari Bullock, who is a senior leader at Digicel. He's also going to share on behalf of the company some of the strategies that they used. And what we love is we have a marketing consultant. She has a rich history in helping companies at all different sizes really execute their strategies and become forces to be reckoned with in their respective industries. And she's going to come and join us and kind of put it all together so persons can understand how to navigate. We are excited to have our region advisor, Ari Natanio, being the moderator for this panel discussion, where we get a treat of information from these experts in their respective fields. That we're having, and we're calling this our masterclass online panel discussion. So all of this is happening in the day, but we have even more. as a district, Caribbean district, we have achieved so much in the last 8 to 9 months, Cristobal. So here we get a minute to recognize all our members for their achievements. And this is where we have our Immerse Hall of Fame. We're going to recognize everyone, just enjoy and celebrate the achievements together. And if everyone has had like a busy day with all of these events, then we're going to end with our after party by our DJ Downer. I hear we're going to have some nice music. We're going to have karaoke. We may even have some clashes with persons who are DJs. So I'm truly excited for all of this happening on April 2nd, 2022.
Yeah. Melinda,
Yes.
now that I've listened to all the things that you said,
Yes.
I think COVID has changed the whole working environment, the company's culture, because now a lot of companies are working remotely,
Right.
people are working on their homes. And I one of the advantages I think of being a Toastmaster is that I've seen a lot of people that, because they're in Toastmasters and Toastmasters are running virtual meetings, people are becoming more comfortable with this working style, remotely, virtual, in
Yes.
front of a camera. So this is an additional benefit from Toastmasters that I didn't think of that until now. That
Yes.
really, for a company, you have an employee that it's more comfortable working with that, because on his spare time or her spare time, he's working also on these skills on
In
a
the virtual
Toastmasters
environment.
virtual meeting. So that's another I think another benefit for corporations to have their employees being part of Toastmasters.
And Cristobal, you are right on the mark. The type of meetings that I'm able to host at my workplace, different things I'm able to use to further engage the members of the teams that I work with and to make this virtual space even more exciting. I got that training from Toastmasters, Cristobal. I learned all of that from Toastmasters, and I'm transitioning that to my work environment. I have even seen members of our team learn so many tech skills that their careers have been transformed, and how they're adding value to their employees and to everyone around them is through leveraging those same skill sets. So you were correct. We operate at a different level, and you notice the difference when you have a Toastmasters event versus a non-Toastmasters event. You are on the mark with that one. So here's a bonus. If you want technical persons who can navigate in this virtual space like bosses, then you really need to create that Toastmasters club in your organization.
Yeah, that's right. Melinda, if the people who are interested, either as individuals or companies or businesses, that they're interested in this event from Toastmasters, where they can find more information, where they can connect to this event.
Absolutely. They can go to District 81 Immerse 2022.vfairs.com to register, so we can get a notification of their interest, and we'll be reaching out one away. Additionally, they can also go to our Caribbean Toastmasters Facebook page or Instagram page or LinkedIn page, and they can also see the link directly so they can register. If they have any questions whatsoever, Cristobal, I know as a Toastmaster, you will also have access to all of this information. So if anyone is interested, they could also reach out or just follow your program, and they can always ask those questions. And I know that you would partner with them to make sure they have those questions addressed.
So let me repeat that. It's District 81 Caribbean Toastmasters. You can find them on Facebook, on other social networks.
On Instagram,
Melinda?
and on LinkedIn, yes.
Yeah, Melinda. Also, we include the links on the show notes for this episode, so it will be easy for everybody if they want to get the information.
Nice.
Go to the show notes, and you're gonna get the links. Melinda, first, let me tell you that the first thing that I see when I talk to you about Toastmaster is the passion that you feel about Toastmaster. It really it's the passion, it's your love. So people will see that. How does she feel about that? Why does she feel about Toastmasters that way. Well, because Toastmasters work. So that's a good thing. So if you see Melinda's personality and Melinda's very passion about Toastmaster, you have to check out that event, Immerse 2022, to see what Toastmasters it's about. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you. It was a nice conversation for this morning to have with you here.
Thank you for your time, Cristobal, and for the amazing work you're doing with your program. Keep on doing the great job that you're doing. And I am looking forward to hearing even more programs from you, Cristobal. This is really nice. Thank you again for having me.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I want to thank Melinda Lloyd for this interesting conversation that we had today for this episode. I highly recommend that you attend the Immerse 2022 virtual event, or if you're interested in Toastmasters, look for any local Toastmasters club in your area and get more information. Y solo me resta decirte que si disfrutaste de este episodio, por favor, compártelo en la plataforma de podcasting o en la red social donde lo hayas escuchado. Este podcast es completamente gratuito. El precio es que lo compartas y riegues la voz con tus amigos y seres queridos. Y sin más que añadir, nos encontraremos entonces en el próximo episodio de Nos cambiaron los muñequitos. Hasta la próxima.